Communicators from over 40 countries gather in Budva, Montenegro for GAiN Europe. The city also hosts Communication Advisory 2023 with professionals from all Adventist fields in Europe. 10-day journey in India provides cataract surgery to patients in an impoverished region. Children's series about mission wins 5th season on Adventist streaming platform. These and other news of hope are coming up here on ANN.
For 8 days, communication leaders from all over Europe and as well as other countries in the world have been here together in Budva, Montenegro, south of Europe, sharing ideas, discussing plans, and creating strategies for how to communicate our mission better to the world.
With less than 20,000 inhabitants, the coastal city of Budva is bathed by the Adriatic Sea and has traces of the Greek and Roman empires in its streets and buildings. The tourist capital of Montenegro, a country that was part of the Socialist Republic of Yugoslavia, Budva receives hundreds of thousands of visitors every year. The cultural diversity of the place provides opportunities and motivates ideas for mission. It was in this environment that more than 300 communicators participated in two of the most important communication events of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. In the first 4 days, the headquarters of the Adventist Church in the inter-European region held Communication Advisory 2023, an event where fields present reports, projects, and how they are using technology to preach the gospel. With the concept, First Contact Community Baptism Discipleship, and the theme, Integrated Vision and Strategy for Communication, Media and Mission, the advisory counted included professionals from the 11 administrative headquarters of the Adventist Church in Europe.
Montenegro was also the stage for the Global Adventist Network, GAiN, an event organized by the Trans-European Division, the Inter-America Division, and Hope Media Europe.
Adventist Mission and Personal Ministries leaders from Europe participated as special guests. The theme of the event was Purpose, meaning a motivation in life in connection with God and sharing His message with others. The program also focused on digital discipleship. Paolo Macedo, Inter-European Communication Director, talks about the goals and highlights of GAiN Europe.
The input I would like to bring to you on this meeting, especially that we ask from each speaker and presenter at the meeting to share its personal journey of faith. This for us was crucial because we don't want to only have presentations on vision and strategy. We believe that stories is the best way to share the gospel, and we need to begin with our own stories. So that's what we shared during these 4 days, trying to inspire our local leaders to go to their fields and to ask the same from our members. Please, have your story with Jesus if you don't have one, but if you already have one that is strong, share it with the person next to you. This will be the means to share the gospel with the whole world.
Representing the Adventist World Headquarters, Williams Costa Jr., Director of Communications, shares one of the event's new features.
But what called our attention here in Europe, it was a project that was a combination between the production of a movie and a production of a book related with the content of the movie.
And with people from so many countries and cultures coming together, networking and sharing experiences continues to be one of GAiN's best attractions.
For me, the best thing about GAiN is working together with people, networking, getting to know, meet new friends, and just coming up with ideas and projects that we can work on together. Ending the silos and, enhancing collaboration. It's great. Come next year.
It's been a blessing being here. We have been discussing about technology, innovation, and communications for the church and how these can help us to improve and create a good environment for people to know more about the second coming of Jesus.
GAiN for me was a dream when I attended the first time the GAiN International in Jamaica. At the time I was the communication director of the division, and I say, why not also in our context? And so I was back and I talked with my colleagues, and we start to organize just meeting that we call media meeting, something like this. But after some years, very few years, we organized the GAiN Europe. And this GAiN Europe was, of course, the realization of our dream. And at the time I was communication director, and I worked with Klaus Popa, quickly with Klaus Popa, the director of Hope Media Europe. And we tried to give this a soul to this GAiN. And this was the beginning of an adventure.
GAiN Europe is part of a series of continental events on communication and technology at the service of the gospel.
During this year, GAiN conference is happening in 4 continents: Americas, Asia, now we are in Europe, and in December it will be in Africa.
Those who participate in GAiN find many reasons to be happy and celebrate the mission.
I love GAiN because it brings communicators and media personnel together. We work better together than on our own. I want you to imagine that you might be in one corner of Europe, in a small studio, a single worker, working on your own day in, day out, producing, filming, doing everything that is required of a studio. You are a one-man band. And all of us on our own get lonely, and we need to come together to meet friends and colleagues who share our experiences. And one of the beauties of being an Adventist is, yes, often we are on our own in our small church or in our small media centre, but we belong to a global organisation. And GAiN Europe is the organisation which helps us, communicators, come together to network and understand how to reach Europe with the gospel in the context of understanding Europe. That's what I love about GAiN. We're right here in the heart of Europe, inter-European division people, trans-European division people, and others from around the world, trying to do something good for God for the sake of Europe. And our mission is to bring Christ to Europe again in the 21st century.
The children's Series O, Presente de Nick, Nick's Gift, premieres its 5th season. Inspired by the Conflict of the Ages series written by Ellen G. White, the new season consists of 12 episodes. In the videos, Nick and his friends get involved in activities as missionaries, recalling stories of biblical characters such as Paul, Peter, and other apostles. Nick's Gift is coordinated by the Spirit of Prophecy Department of the South American headquarters of the Adventist Church, in collaboration with the children's ministry and the script writing of professionals from Publishing Brazilian House. The 5th and other seasons of Nick's Gift are available on the video platform Feliz 7 Kids. The producers attribute the success of the most viewed series on the platform to prayer. Step into a world of compassion and transformation in northern India, where a Hindu temple becomes the background for a journey of healing and hope. Dr. Jacob Prabhakar and his team are the heroes at this 10-day cataract camp, where most patients come from extreme poverty and receive the operation free of charge.
When Jesus gave sight to the blind, he did more than restore physical vision. He was concerned with meeting the needs of the whole person, and he gave them hope for the future. Christ followers today are given the privilege of being his hands and feet, sometimes in the most unlikely of scenarios. What happens when Jesus, through the compassionate hands of an Indian doctor, restores sight to the blind in the middle of a Hindu temple? My husband and I work for a humanitarian organization in India and have been invited by our friend, Dr. Jacob Prabhakar, to volunteer at a cataract camp in northern India. Uttar Pradesh is not only the most populated state in India, it is also one of the poorest. The eye camp, called Eyes for India, is held on the grounds of a Hindu temple. Dirt roads and farmers' fields surround the large temple complex. The temple has been hosting the camp for decades, and Dr. Jacob has been the primary eye surgeon at this camp for the past 15 years. Most of the patients come from extreme poverty, but here they receive the operation free of charge. Eyes for India is sponsored by It Is Written, a faithful partner who supports this outreach with the help of generous donors who have a heart for this important healing ministry. Dr. Jacob and his 12-member team will have completed more than 2,600 cataract surgeries at the end of this 10-day camp. Besides the team Dr. Jacob brings with him, the temple itself provides a host of volunteers who help with organization, accommodations, and meals during the event. The weather in northern India is cold and foggy this time of year. As patients and families arrive, they find whatever space they can to huddle up and sleep for the night. Tomorrow will be a big day for these patients. They have the hope of regaining sight in one of their eyes. But for now, the unknown and the process ahead can weigh heavy on the minds of both patients and families. In the early morning chill, we join the staff in morning worship. Today's work will start soon, but first, breakfast. The temple staff and volunteers keep busy all day making food for patients and the many volunteers who serve. With breakfast out of the way, Dr. Jacob and his staff gown up for the remainder of the day. Today's patients are waiting patiently for the day's surgery. This group has been through all the pre-op vetting and testing to determine if they are candidates for surgery. As a last gesture of care, the patients are served lunch before they reunite with their families. The kitchen crew shines once again as they deliver huge vats of dal and fruit to be distributed just outside in the courtyard. These patients are going home, blessed with new sight. There's a lot of friendly discussion in Hindi. As more curious villagers fill the doorway, an older man seems to have a question about his own eye. Dr. Jacob is happy to help. Before we leave, we have the special privilege of praying with this generous family who has allowed us a glimpse into their lives and home. As we head back to our car, we have a crowd of new friends following close behind. We realize the gift we have been given to be allowed into this village, into these lives, and into the adventures God has waiting for those who will follow.
Adventist institutions join efforts to transform lives in the South Pacific region. Partnering with ADRA, a team of 21 from Sanitarium Health Food Company spent 5 days in Fiji providing better sanitation and healthcare for local communities. The team completed the construction of 10 toilets for 15 families and an additional bathroom specifically designed for a family headed by a person with a disability. They also partnered with the 10,000 Toes campaign, providing healthy juices and health screenings to the village, as this is part of the work it does in Fiji in its efforts to turn the tide on diabetes. With a long-standing partnership with ADRA, Sanitarium Health collaborates in delivering community projects in the South Pacific and Asia, and teams up with ADRA in responding to emergencies and disasters. Merging science and religion may seem challenging, but in the segment ANN Profiles, Alyssa Truman, ANN News Director, and Ronnie Nayland, Director of the Geoscience Research Institute of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, make it look easy. They explain how the Institute supports the Church when dealing with the topic of faith and science.
Basically, the Geoscience Research Institute is an institute of the General Conference, and it is an institute that is dedicated to the understanding of the relationship of faith and science from a biblical perspective. So it has an interesting combination in that all the scientists that work for GRI, as it is known, GRI and the abbreviation, are people who are committed to a biblical understanding of origins, but at the same time are also professional in their own disciplines and scientists that have earned a PhD and so fully understand and embrace the practice of science.
Dr. Nalin also discusses the relationship between faith and science.
For example, there is a quote that is attributed to Einstein that suggests that science without faith is lame and faith without science is blind. So that kind of encapsulates this concept that they both need each other. There are also narratives of conflict and tension.
Dr. Nalin's personal journey led him to an uncommon mission field, and in his view, it all begins with a pivotal decision.
To me, what made the difference was to always say, I am available. I know this. I know for sure that I'm ready. I want to follow you. That was clear. I had no doubt. So when you have that frame of mind, anything that comes, you're much more malleable. The Lord can really work you for the long term. If you're very set in what you want, then you will succeed and you will accomplish that. But it will be what you had set.
To watch this full interview and other inspiring stories, visit the English language ANN channel on YouTube. Medical students from University of Central Florida in Orlando, Florida, in the United States are taking astronomy classes. The idea is that when they go to work, they are able to take care of people in an integral way, encouraging longevity and quality of life. Tom Johnson has more.
We are already working with future physicians from UCF's College of Medicine. Videographer David Maddox shows you what we have cooking in a very unique class.
Always set it flat. Next time, just go straight down, don't go sideways.
We're very excited to have fourth-year medical students from UCF's College of Medicine with us.
I hope people like big muffins, because some of them are going to be big.
They're here today working with our executive chef, Edwin Cabrera.
Tip and slice. There you go. Tip and slice.
Making recipes and getting really comfortable in the kitchen, which they can then pass that on to their patients.
The knife is always going to be following that knuckle.
The first thing that comes to mind when you talk about doctors is an apple a day keeps the doctor away, and it's true.
Just cut this end. You're just dicing.
We do have a small group of patients that will be coming in to get the medical students comfortable with demonstrating recipes in front of people.
The whole wheat flour is going to give you a little bit of extra fiber. I do actually cook a lot at home. It's part of the reason that I wanted to join the class so that I can continue to develop that skill for myself as well. You don't want to overmix it. I promise these were once bananas.
As a dietitian, I find it very important to really encourage people to cook at home more often.
And then we're also going to add our salt.
Healthy eating can be easy, and it doesn't have to be bland and boring. It can be very tasty and delicious.
We just want to be able to show that it's definitely doable for everyone, and it just takes a little bit of practice.
To be able to work with future physicians that will potentially impact individuals we have coming into our facility, it's really important to have that partnership.
To have that interaction and participate is really special for us. And there we go. In 15 to 20 minutes, we should have some delicious banana nut muffins.
Hundreds of children and adolescents, ages 7 through 14, are challenged to depend on Jesus. They traveled from across Panama to participate in a congress in Panama City, the country's capital. Organized by the Children and Adolescents Ministry of the administrative headquarters of the Inter-American region, the event aims to stimulate the growth of faith and strengthen trust in God so that they become spiritual leaders in their churches and communities. With the theme, Jesus, Our Eternal Rock, children and teenagers participated in spiritual messages, prayers, and social activities. The purpose of the event was to reaffirm that Jesus is a safe refuge, the best guide and friend they could have. A remarkable baptism in the waters of the Mediterranean. On the shores of the biblical island of Cyprus, individuals descend into the waters in an emotional ceremony. Various evangelistic activities have been taking place in the region, reaching people of different ages. Pastor Dejan Stojkovic, youth director of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in the Trans-European region, brings the details.
Hello everybody and welcome to the vlog. This time, well, we are on the biblical island of Cyprus. Thank you so much for joining and I hope you enjoy. Baptism today?
Yes, we have two ladies. They have both been waiting for this day for a long time.
What value or object can you give up to help bring hope to unreached people? A campaign encourages saving and donating to the mission and challenges you and me to participate by making a sacrificial offering.
If you could give something up for one day or 1 week and give what you save to missions so someone could learn about Jesus, would you do it? If so, what would it be? Your favorite subscription? Going out to eat? A new pair of shoes? Whatever you sacrifice, your gift will make a difference. Your gift might buy Bibles or outreach books that tell someone about Jesus in their own language, conduct seminars about healthful living, or sponsor a global mission pioneer in a city where most people have never heard about Jesus. "100% of your gift goes to the front lines of mission. It will help start new groups of believers among the most challenging areas and people groups, such as the 1040 window, the cities, and the growing post-Christian population. Today, there are still more than 7,000 unreached people groups, with a total of more than 3 billion people. Jesus told the parable of the lost sheep. When one sheep was missing, the shepherd went out to search for it. Please prayerfully consider what you can give up to bring hope to unreached people. To give, please mark your tithe envelope, Annual Sacrifice Offering, or visit global-mission.org/mysacrifice.
Thank you for watching ANN. Join us next week for more news from the headquarters of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Did you know the Seventh-day Adventist Church has a YouTube channel where you can watch ANN Video, ANN In Depth, and plenty of other amazing videos on prophecy, health, and Bible study? Just go to YouTube and search for the Adventist Church. Make sure you click the subscribe button so you never miss a new video. And remember, leave a comment or a prayer request. We have a team dedicated to praying for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Before we say goodbye, we'll leave you with some good news from the book of Luke, chapter 19, verses 9 and 10. And Jesus said to them, "Today salvation has come to this house, because he also is a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man has come to seek and to save that which was lost." That's our program for this week. And remember, you can always visit adventist.news for daily news and videos. Until next time, when we will have more news of faith, love, and hope, God bless.